All right, welcome to Bond STX. This is a stock market channel where I talk about my plays of the week. I'm going to be talking about good value stocks, stocks that are what I would call on sale and a good time to buy. So let me start off with a disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor, nor am I advising anyone to spend their money. This is only for educational purposes and only my opinion. Any money spent is at the individual's own discretion and not due to any information from me. So without further ado, let's get started. My name is Lance. Also, I have a special guest today, Daz. He's joining me. He'll comment on some of these as well. But I also want to talk about Kellogg starting out. And so Kellogg's is going to be the first one I want to evaluate. So this is a screener I use to screen stocks. And this is really just a kind of an X marks the spot to kind of point you in a direction of where to go. You still need to go to the charts, and that's what I'm going to do after I go through my first evaluation. So I'm going to start off with Kellogg's. It came out as a great value stock this week as an opportunity to kind of make a trade. It's trending at a 6, so it's trending very well. It's still a little bit overvalued at this point in time by about 40 cents. But I'm going to show you something here in a little bit. It looks like it's in a good range to buy. So I'm going to kind of go to the charts and show what I'm seeing and what I'm looking at. So let's go to Kellogg's. So I start off I'm looking at a 1-year chart, day by day, and looking at the range here. This is what I call the cake here in the purple. So this is the stronghold of where the stock wants to be, based on the trending pattern over the year. And so I'm looking at a couple of things here. One of the things I'm looking at, again, is trending in a good direction. I'm going to zoom in. This is my true value. So again, you can see the true values here. It's a little bit overpriced, but I'm willing to buy this stock around the range of, I would say, as I'm looking at it, I feel like it could come back down to the range of about 63.21, somewhere in this range. I think that's good value for the stock. So that's the price point I'm going to put it at as far as me purchasing that stock. So I'm going to write down to save it, clip it. We're going to say 63.21 is my price range that I am willing to buy Kellogg's this week. So if it falls down to that range, I'm going to put a alert, and I'm going to make a plan to purchase at 63.21. So Daz, what would you feel comfortable buying Kellogg's at this week?
I would have to agree with you on that one. It has pretty good support around the 63 line. But yeah, I'll just have to agree with you. I don't really know much on that stock in particular, so I'm gonna let you have that one.
Okay. So Daz agrees with me, 63.21. Mark it down. So we'll recap next week and see if we got in at that price range and see where it goes. It looks like it's still trending up, and it looks like it's going to continue to trend up as I look back. So let me clear that. We'll move on to the next one. So next on the list we got this week is Intel. So Intel looks like a long-term play for me. It's about 19 cents overvalued, but it is trending up fairly well. So let's look at Intel and see what the charts are telling us about Intel. So looking at Intel, you can see a lot of pattern up and down here. It came up real high back, looks like in April, hit its high mark. I don't see it coming back to that level, but I do see a lot of opportunity based on its opportunity that it's been in the cake a couple times here throughout the year. It's definitely under the cake range, but when you look at zoom in, we're looking at from a day chart over the year. You can see a little bit more movement coming into the stock. You see a very manipulated price back in the 7th of December, and hit about 54.91, and it's come down from that. And so you start to see a little bit more opening up of the price range here. And so I would say this price is still going to fall some. And I predict that I would be willing to buy this stock more of the range. I'm looking at about $49.95 to $50 range. That's where I would be more comfortable buying this stock here. So looking at Intel, I would say I'm going to do $49.95 is where I'm going to put my price range, and I'm willing to buy it. $49.95. That's where I find good value. Feel like that's a good place to buy Intel. Daz, what do you feel comfortable buying this stock at? Daz, can you hear me?
Oh, sorry, I had it on mute. Yeah, so I think 49 is a good 49 is a good range to buy Intel. It would definitely be a long-term play to hold though. So yeah,
So you would say 49 even?
I would say, looking at the charts, I would say it'd be good to see how it tests the 49 support level. I feel like it probably have some room to fall possibly. So hit a low on October 27th of 47.85. So I think you should just wait if it was the dip and see how it would test at that level of your precise number. I would say close to like the 48.70, 78 range. But for a swing trade to get in, I think 49 is a comfortable buy point.
So you say 49. All right. 49 it is. We'll mark it down. 49 even. Good price range, good value. Again, this stock has been up into the 50, 60 range. So if you're looking at an opportunity to get in, this is a good price range in my opinion. All right, so moving on. Next one we have on our list, I have on my list. Next on the list is Yamana Gold. Yamana Gold pulled in at a true value of $4.08. It's got a gap about 14 cents above value, but it is trending pretty good. So let's look at the charts there on Yamana Gold. So there's an AUY ticker. And so you look at it from a year. I like to look at it scanned out. Kind of look at the big picture first. You can see it hit some highs early in the year of 2021. So you're looking at 616, it hit a high. It's been trending down very steadily over the course of the last year. So it looks like it's a good opportunity to kind of get into the stock. You can see a couple high volumes come in and sell the stock out to kind of gain, to get some profits off of the stock. So you can look at it, it's kind of getting really flat, I would say, for the last 3 or 4 months, but it is starting to hit a uptrend. Actually started to uptrend looking back on the 17th of December. So you see a steady uptrend coming on. And so I've got my true value here again at $4.08. But I do feel like it could be purchased a little bit cheaper. See a couple manipulation bars here and here. So I would definitely see that you could get in for sure this week. I feel like you get in at least $4.04, a little bit under value there. And I think you could get in and possibly make some money doing that. So I'm thinking that's where I'm going to get in at $4.04. I'm go ahead and mark that down. $4.04 is my purchase price for Yamana Gold. Daz, what do you think you feel like you would purchase, be willing to purchase that stock at?
For this one, let's see. So I would say no more than I want to get in at $4 and about 12 cents. That's the most I would pay. The lowest that would make me a little skeptical, however, I would say probably that, like you said, that $4.04 range. But I think I would be comfortable paying $4.12 for this stock for maybe like a 2% gain.
Okay. So you're looking at $4.12 you'd be willing to pay, jump in?
Yeah, for this one.
$4.12. Mark it down. All right. All right, next one on the list is Nikola. So me and Daz had some back and forth on this one. So I'm a fan of this one for trade. I think that the current price at $9.87 is pretty good. It's good value. This stock is taking a beating, and we'll show it in the charts here in a little bit. So it's undervalued, in my opinion, by about 66 cents. It does have still an upward trend at this point, but you can see it's far from its range where the average for the year is. So let's look at Nikola, and let's see what that chart's going to show us here. And this is kind of what I was saying earlier. You can see it kind of falling very, very, very steadily throughout the year. This stock has been beaten up quite a bit. I do think this is a good opportunity to make some quick money, probably over the course of a week, though. You can kind of see some very manipulated bars here, moving up to 1534. Some more manipulation here, moving up into the 1173 range, steadily under the what I call the simple moving average here. So again, it's been beaten up quite a bit. It's under the William Alligator as well. But you kind of, if you zoom in a little bit here, and let's also look at the 30-day 4-hour chart. You can kind of see where it's starting to want to come back around. I do feel like this stock, again, is at good value at this price range, but I'd be very skeptical to hold on to this stock for a long time. So I'm looking at opportunities here at 985, even an opportunity here at 930. So I would say still seems to be holding pretty steady, pretty strong support here in the low 920 range. And so I would say 930 would be a good value. You can still see a lot of decline here. So I would say getting in at around 930 or 920 would be pretty good value for me. I would say that. So I'm going to go ahead and mark it down for 930 is where I'm going to buy Nikola. So Daz thinks a little differently on me from me on this one. I'm going to go ahead and put mine out there at 930. Daz, where would you, if you were to buy this one? I know you're not. If you were to buy this one, if someone gave you some money, where would you buy Nikola? And they said, hey, if they gave you some money and said, hey, you gotta buy it, you gotta spend it on Nikola stock, where would you buy it at?
Well, if I had to, because like you said, I wouldn't. If I had to get, so personally to me, I think it's on a downtrend. And I would say where it's at now at this 987 range, that is close to the support test. I will first want to see how it tests close to like the 979 area. But if I had to buy Nikola, I think I would wait and probably around the 950s. The 950s. Or
okay, go ahead.
For a swing trade, probably I would say 950 because there's some support. There's some support short term from this month around about 949. So yeah, if I had to get it now for a quick trade, I would say 950s, honestly. Crazy, but
You would buy it at 950? What you're saying?
yeah,
Okay.
for a quick trade.
Okay.
It'll be like buy at 950 and I would more than likely sell at 980. I would just get in and out.
Yeah. Definitely get in and out. I would definitely say
it has room to fall more than that though. Like I can see it falling to I can see it falling to 913.
913.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can see it falling to 913. No, yeah, 915 range. Yeah. But
So
like I said, I would just stay away from Nikola overall. But hey,
yeah.
they gave me the money for it, cool. But yeah,
right.
that's what I think.
Good deal. All right. So moving on. Next one that popped up on my scan this week is Etsy. So Etsy is showing as a bargain stock already. It's showing $5.19 on sale. It does show a flat trend though. So let's go to the charts and look at Etsy and see what we got there. So again, looking at Etsy from a year out, you can see a slow upward trend, steady pretty much for the year. You did see a big spike here in late October. I'm sorry, November, where it hit a high of 307. So I don't know if this has peaked out. I do think that there's some opportunity to continue up. So let's zoom in a little bit. You can start to see where it's starting to try to turn bullish. Looks like it got a little bit of rejection here. The buyers are starting to come back in to buy at a little bit higher prices, but not significantly higher prices. But it is showing to be right around in the cake range, so which is good buying potential, in my opinion. And that's where I am feeling comfortable buying Etsy. So let's look at it in a month range, 4-hour chart. Zooming in here. You can kind of see where it's been tested right here, pretty much almost where my lower cake value is. And come back up into the middle range and down again. I feel pretty comfortable buying Etsy right around this range of 215. It does show some signs of some small continuation of a decline. So I would say around the 215. Let me take that back. I would say the 216 range. I would feel comfortable buying Etsy around that range. So let me go ahead and mark that one down to 16. So Daz, where do you feel comfortable buying Etsy at this week?
So for this week, let me change my chart in a little bit. So, like you said, it's pretty flat. So on the 29th of December, it went down to a low of 215.19. So I agree with you on that level. So I think it has some more room to fall. I think I would say I would probably get it for a swing trade. I like to see it at like 217.
All right, 217 it is.
Yeah, I think it has a little support at 217, especially from the 29th when it hit the low. So,
and another thing about Etsy, even it just recently hit its high for the year, and so that's interesting enough to me. I don't know if it'll come back to that level, but that does show potential at least to come back. Even for, if I was to get it at 216, looking at almost a, even if it comes back to the top band of the cake layer, you're looking at a 12% gain, somewhere right in that range. So I think it's definitely worthy of a 12% gain at least. I don't know if it'll come back to the 307 range though.
What about the 212? How you think about thinking it can go there?
212? Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, for sure.
I'm looking at it a little bit better now. I think 212 might be.
You mean 212 far as coming down to 212?
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, if I'm looking at, even if I'm looking at the long-term SMA I've got here, it's bounced off of it once. I can definitely see it bouncing off of it again, which is about 210. So yeah, 209, 210. So yeah, 212 definitely you can come back down to. But even then, if it does hit that, I feel like it can bounce back off of that pretty quickly, up to about 9% from there. So you're looking at up to 229, 230. So either way, if you get in at 216, 217, if it falls a little bit, I feel like it'll reverberate back up and you'll be able to get in and out, even in the 229, 230 range. So,
Okay.
All right. So moving on to the next one we've got on the list. Looking at AMD. So AMD is showing $1.84 on sale. So I've got a true value of $145.74. It does show a flat trend. And so that's something definitely want to look out for. But being on sale, AMD has had a history of being a kind of a growth stock. So definitely want to look at that one this week, knowing that it's priced a little bit undervalued. So looking at a year chart on AMD, you can see steady growth. It was very flat back in the early part of the year, but really since you see the volume coming in around August, I'm not sure the news or what happened to bring that trend up, but you can see a lot of volume coming in around this time. And ever since then, it's been steady growing since August. So I would say, even though it's showing flat, I would definitely buy AMD this week. I would definitely see a fall back to the 137, 139 range, or even to the 135. I would probably say 135 for sure is where I would feel comfortable buying it. I would definitely want to see if it held support here. The only thing that kind of makes me a little nervous is it's, as I call it, the cake here. This is the cake range. It's well over the cake range. So I would definitely feel a little nervous about buying at 135 if I don't see it start to turn up at 135. If it broke through 135, I would feel more comfortable buying it around the 119 range. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here. So I'm going to put an alert. I'm not necessarily going to buy it at 135. I want to see it hold support at 135. If it doesn't, then I'm going to wait till it comes down to 119, and then I'm going to feel more comfortable there. But I really don't know if it'll come down to 119 in this week. So I definitely want to see it test 135 this week, and I'm going to put a alert in at 135. I'm not necessarily going to buy it at 135. I want to see it test 135 because, again, I don't like to buy stocks over the cake range because it makes me a little nervous. And so I'm going to say 135 is my test. And we're going to see what it does from that point. So Daz, I think you're a fan of AMD. Where do you feel comfortable buying AMD for this week?
I'm going to agree with you 100% with the 135 range. I think if you just get in with that range, honestly, I feel like AMD is a long-term play. So that's a stock I feel like you can just hold and you'll make money out of it. So I'm just going to agree with you on 135.
All right, 35 it is. It's two you agree with me on so far. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so moving on to the next one. Got this week. Facebook. So Facebook pulled up as a good value stock this week, showing 79 cents on sale. Not a whole lot on sale, but Facebook has been a pretty strong stock. A lot of news around the metaverse and all this other stuff around social media. So Facebook is showing an opportunity to buy in this week if you do want to buy it. It does show a flat trend. So let's look at Facebook and see where that one shows up on the charts here. Let's see this one. All right, so looking a year out on Facebook, you can see how it's been, again, a steady growth stock. You see a lot of volume coming in to pretty much take some of the profits out from where it kind of hit some highs at 384 back in September. See a lot of downtrend here. Again, trimming off profits from some manipulation. So you see another trim off of profits right here. So I think it's actually, even though it's showing a flat trend over the last month, you can kind of see it's still in bullish territory. But I wouldn't be surprised if you saw this stock this week specifically come back down and test 326, 325. Wouldn't be surprised if there was some bad news or something comes out to devalue it again back down to a 308 range. So I like Facebook. I do think there's some opportunity in Facebook. Again, it's undervalued, but I want to zoom in at a 30-day, 4-hour range and kind of show you what I'm seeing here. And so you can kind of see the price being underneath the EMA, and also what is called the Williams alligator starting to turn around as well. So the Williams alligator is putting the EMA displaced into the future. And so it kind of gives you a projection of where the price fall is going to happen ahead of time. So you can kind of see those kind of crossing. So I would kind of be a little bit advised. I wouldn't jump in immediately at the price it is at open on Monday, but I would definitely want to see it test, and I would be willing to buy Facebook around the 130, around the 325 range. So I'm going to mark down 325 as a good buying spot for Facebook. And definitely would get in on that, especially with all the metaverse conversation. There's a lot of future there for Facebook to be in the game for long periods of time. So I would say 325 is where I am buying Facebook. Daz, what do you say on Facebook?
Facebook, I could see it hitting 325, but I think that's one of those. It could hit 325, but I think 325, the most I think I want to get in that is like the 328 range. It's pretty good support around that. I would say the issue with the 325 is that if it tests 325 and it breaks it to a downtrend, then you're looking at, I would say maybe 309. Yeah, I would say 309. 309 to 311. So I would put, probably cheating here, but I would put 311 to 320, 325. Like you said, the most. That's my range.
So what number would you buy it at? Would you buy it at 325, or would you say you're going to hold and buy it at 311?
So yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm kind of cheating you on this one. So I was going to say like 311 through 328. That's like, that's a wide gap though. But in fact, let's just lock it in at I'm gonna say 328. I don't think it'll break that.
You think it's gonna stay strong? Gotcha.
Yeah, it's gonna stay strong around 328. Personally,
That's good. That's still good value, good range. I mean, I think Facebook is there's a lot of growth there, continued growth. As long as they keep innovating, as long as they keep pushing their agenda with social media, I don't see them coming off of that, the valuations they have. So I agree with some of the Facebook opportunity, although I do have it as a quick day trade or swing trade. You could easily continue to look at that one as a long-term play. So next on the list is Moderna. So we've got a lot of talk about pandemic on the rise. Moderna is a COVID vaccine company, also make vaccines for other things, but with the conversation of the Omicron virus on the rise, I think there may be some good opportunity with Moderna. So if you look at a year out, you can see steady growth through the pandemic. The height of the pandemic, it started to really stay very, very bullish. Even saw a lot of volume coming in July. It hit its peak in August at 497. And it's been kind of trending down, really started turning bearish in September. So you can kind of see how it's really come back down. So again, that's where I have my cake value, which is very important to me because if I'm buying here, I'm really at risk of any bad news, any devaluation of the stock price being trimmed down, and now I'm stuck holding it. And so with me being a very conservative investor, I'm looking to buy anywhere in this range or below this range for sure. And so I'm looking at, again, it's been really steady above. Let me zoom back out real quick. So one thing I wanted to note, it's been above the simple moving average for the majority of the year. And you can see it's really, it started to fall below that in November and kind of come back above that. And now it's falling back below it again. So I do believe there's good opportunity here, even though it's fallen below the simple moving average. I am starting to see almost a bullish trend starting to come back into here. So I really like Moderna at this price range. I'm willing to buy it at value that it is today because it's undervalued to me. So I'm actually going to go ahead and say I'm buying Moderna at the current price of $253.98. And so I'm willing to buy that one at $253.98. Mark that one down. $253.98. Des, if you were to buy Moderna this week, what price range would you be comfortable buying it?
So for this week, I think it has room to fall down to 249, like 249.51.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say that I'll buy that. I buy it at 249.51 or no higher than 251. Well, excuse me, no. Well, yeah, 251 for me personally.
249, is that what you're going with?
Yeah, it's locked in 249.
All right.
249, yeah. 249.47 or 34. Around that.
We'll go with 34. All right. So again, Moderna, I like this company. I think with the virus pandemic and all that stuff still very prevalent in in the media cycles. I think this is a good one to continue to feel comfortable with. This is the one I'm banking on this week. So, all right. Last but not least, got Twitter. So Twitter showing undervalued, showing the 76 cents on sale. Got a true value of 43.98. And so another one that's moving flat. So let's look at Twitter. Twitter has been a very up and down stock over the last, I would say last 2 years. It can't seem to get really past the $40 range. It tends to fall back into the $40 range, no matter how high it gets. I am starting to see some bullish trending here. It looks like it's gained some support here. The alligator charts are coming together, which is meaning it's finna cross. So I feel comfortable, even just through this week with a swing trade or day trade with Twitter. Even if I'm buying it and I feel comfortable buying it, I would say even at the 43.22 price range that it's at right now, maybe a fall down to 42.78 or 42.63. But I do feel like this one's going to come up this week, even if we're talking about just to come up with 47.29. So if we go from 42.93 to 42.79, we're looking at a 10% rise. So I'm not sure if you'll get that in a day, but at least in the week, I feel like it can come up to that range. So I'm willing to buy Twitter, I would say at 42.63, 42.78. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go on a limb on this one. I would go ahead and buy it at 43.22. I feel comfortable buying it there. Even if it was to take a little bit of a dip, I don't think it would dip very much or for very long. So 43.22 is what I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to buy it at that range. All right, Daz, what do you think about Twitter? Where would you buy Twitter this week?
Looking at it in better detail now. So this week I would probably look at Twitter for a quick trade. I think it's good at, I can honestly see it going, I can see it going to 42. I'm kind of bearish on Twitter.
Okay.
So they probably about 42.69.
So you think it has some room to fall some more? Okay.
Yeah, I think it has a lot of room to fall. Okay. Honestly. Yeah.
And what's your recovery range? So if you see it falling to 42.69, where do you see? Do you feel like you can make a swing trade, maybe to sell at 43.50, 40 range?
Yeah. So if I was getting at the 42.69, I'll probably try to get it. I think it has potential to go back to like 44 even, probably, or like a high 43.90. Okay. Potentially.
Okay. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not a bad day trade, swing trade.
No, not at all. Beat the bank.
Yes, sir. Beating the bank. That's the goal. That's the goal. All right. So that's all of the trades that that came up that we feel like that I feel like will be good this week. So this is week one. Continue this throughout the year. Try to do one every plays of the week every week. In the future, I do plan on jumping into analyzing crypto. So stay tuned for some more episodes from Bond STX. Thank you for joining us today.